Okay, good evening, everybody. We'll get started. People will probably join as we progress through. But thanks for joining this evening. My name, for those who don't know me, my name's Jason Fletcher, better known as Fletch, and I've sort of been leading the Squash Stars process over the last several months, actually. So we are recording. So if you've got any committee members, or if you want to watch this later on that can't make it tonight, instead of taking all the notes, you can we'll share the link with everybody as well. Joining and helping me out tonight is Tyler Duberly. He's also helping with the promotion side. You'll hear from her later on. And John's in the background. So feel free to chuck any questions that you have in the chat, and we'll answer those as we work through. But we'll probably deal with most of the questions near the end. Now I'll see if I can share my screen. And we got that? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Cool, thank you. So Squash Stars, probably give you a little bit of a backstory over the last couple of years. I know John's been working on projects around participation, and what we've found is that there's low awareness of squash amongst young people in particular, and probably about 80% of young people that play were introduced by family, which is not a bad thing. So but actually trying to raise awareness amongst young people is challenging because we're competing with lots of other things. And so Squash Stars sort of started a couple of years ago, really. And it's really a refreshed version of our Kiwi Squash program. But I like to say with a new suit and a haircut and some new branding. And we did look at a number of different names to attract, so like Futures Golf or Smash Play Cricket, that type of thing. England, in the last couple of years, have set up a Squash Stars, and so have Australia. England's program is club-based, Australia's is school-based, and we decided, right, we'll do the whole lot and we'll do school and club together. So we'll challenge ourselves that way. So what we'll go through tonight, we'll introduce the program. We'll outline the national promotional campaign. We'll show you how your club can get involved, and we'll highlight the support resources and some of the benefits of being involved with the promotional campaign. And we'll share some timelines and the next steps and some Q&A along that as well, so as we go through. So what is it? So Squash Stars is our new sort of introductory program. Quite clear, it's an introductory program. It's not a talent ID program. It's for beginners, getting kids involved and falling in love with the game, really. And it's based around a philosophy of creating smiles. I won't go into too much detail around the smiles philosophy, but basically the activators, they have one job, just to create smiles, both for the people that come along, for the young people, but also for themselves. And when we do the activator training, we'll go a bit deeper into that. But it's throughout fun, engaging, being inclusive, and easy to deliver. So regardless of the level of experience, activators or coaches, anybody will be able to deliver the program. Age-appropriate equipment, and if needed, some clear session plans. And once again, supported by national promotion, basically designed to create national awareness and national branding right across New Zealand. There's lots of great work happening out at clubs, and we don't want to take anything away from that, but we would like to sort of have something that's nationally branded, and all the people doing great work in clubs already keep doing that great work and running some great programs. And this is just here to hopefully help that and enhance what they currently do. And for some clubs which already had register, this is going to be something new for them. So obviously providing that support as well. So why get involved with Squash Stars? It's going to be a national campaign. So if you sign up, going to promote your program nationally. Activator training. So there's options for in-person training and online. And I'm nearly at the stage of finishing the online activator training. And also it's supported by in-person as much as possible. And we'll probably do a webinar as well for the activators prior to this the session starting next term. We're providing a promotional toolkit with flyers, posters, and social media content. So you can see a social media slide on the image there. And we're lucky enough to get a little bit of funding for this as well. So the funding we have to give to the districts, but part of that's actually to go back into the clubs. So there's a contribution there to support the delivery. So whether you're paying a coach or somebody to run the program, or you can use that to go into other areas of your program with equipment or shirts or something. And also an equipment pack worth about $150. So that includes the game cards, flyers, flyer templates, posters, and the activator training is part of that as well. And a t-shirt for one activator as well, forgot to mention that. My big goal for this is that you'll continue to get ongoing support from Squash New Zealand and your district. So if activators need some additional help, where districts have got the capability to support that with their coach developers, we'll do that, or from Squash New Zealand directly. And a big part of this as well, which we'll talk more about when we do the activator connections, is connecting the activators a couple of times throughout the program, just to see how things are going in, just as a check-in. People can share the success stories and their challenges, and hopefully as a community of practice, we can help each other out along the way. But also helps us learn as well at Squash New Zealand. Quite often these programs get thrown out there and we say good luck. And we don't know till the end. But part of my goal for this is actually keep connecting throughout the program, so we can support the delivery right through. Yep, and part of that probably, yeah. So that's connections to other hubs and ongoing guidance, and the flexibility to integrate with Squash Stars with the existing programs. So if you've already got existing programs, as I mentioned earlier, there's some great stuff happening out there. So it can be integrated or it can be standalone. So we're not really too concerned whether you're integrated or have a standalone program. Probably for me, the thing that's most important is you create smiles with your program. Here's just a little example of generic flyer. So this will be some of the templates you'll get. So you can put your own club details, etc. in there. So when you want to do your own marketing, you can use these flyer templates to hand out. And here's an example of a game card that we'll have. We're still finishing those off. But the game card there will sort of a little bit of a learning focus, some instructions how to play the game, and opportunities to make it easier or harder depending on how it's going. Some tips on that as well. And will also be a video linked with a QR code, so you can watch a video. The activators can watch a video on the activity as well if they need to. With the game cards, we had to sort of trim the back how many games we had. We probably could have had hundreds. So we're actually flexible. If your activators or coaches have great activities that they use, more than welcome to use those activities as well. So you're not bound to what the activities that we provide. We just had to limit it to what we could put together, but I could have produced hundreds of them. So I've taken a few activities, mixed and matched from Squash England, what we had in Kiwi Squash, what I've got from School PE resources, and a couple of the Squash Australia one as well. So we've done a mix of things from across different resources, but more than happy to let activators and coaches use some of their own games and activities. So how does it work for this program? Ideally, we'd like to be ready for this term, but all our content wasn't going to be ready, so we're pushing it back to term 3, and I know some want to start already. But for the term 3 program, or part of the National Promotion Program, you'll register your program, choose your delivery options, set the fee level, and nominate who your activators are. There's a $50 registration fee, and as I talked earlier, you get that back plus with a $100 cash rebate, if you like, and all the other resources. The activators, they can complete the online activator course or attend an in-person workshop. Open to both coaches and coaches. So even if you've got people that won't necessarily be there full time running the programs, they're more than welcome to come along to the workshops or go online and check out the online course, just in case they may have to call them up at some stage. But please note, activators will need to be police vetted. There's a national program, and it's we want all our activators to be police vetted, so we're doing the right thing there. And generally, the police vetting, no news is good news. We don't normally get notified unless there's an issue. So when they fill in their vetting form, if they don't hear anything, that's a good sign. National marketing campaign, Tyler will talk about that shortly, but really designed to reach those families and players to the wider community. And but we also recommend that you do some local stuff too with schools, community groups, etc., that are in your area. And as we showed you there, we'll provide the template so you can share that, use those to do your local promotion. And I think if you can get into your schools in particular, share what you're doing. That's probably the best way to connect with people. So the parents, they see the flyer or the online promotion, they'll search for their local Squash Stars session, and they'll sign their child up through the link, which I'll show you a couple of slides. And clubs, I think in the past when we've done these promotions, clubs haven't been able to see their registrations. This time around, you'll be able to see who's registered for your program, so you can see how the registration process is going. They'll have the option to purchase Squash Stars t-shirts and equipment packs, like a racket and some balls. We're going to send these to the clubs. So if I sign my child up at Browns Bay, I see Rossi, nice to talk to you today. Sign up for the Browns Bay program, that I get order a t-shirt and a racket and stuff. Squash New Zealand will send that stuff to Browns Bay to hand over to the child there. So we thought that'd be a good way for, once again, to introduce yourself to the kids that come along. And you can order extra shirts or equipment. Had some feedback from the districts that they'd like to buy a whole lot of shirts, and some clubs have said the same thing, to get funding for it. So you can order extra shirts or equipment to help support that. So where does the money go? Once again, this is a question we had from the districts when we sort of taken them through this. Parents will pay for the program. You can accept direct sign up. So if you do your local marketing and people come to you directly, that's fine. They can sign up with you directly. If they do it online or through the program, we collect the money on behalf of the clubs, and they'll have the option to pay for order and pay for t-shirts, etc. Squash New Zealand will pay the full program fee to the club in one lump sum. So if you get 10 kids sign up, we'll pay that full lump sum before the program starts. And then clubs, you can decide how you distribute those program fees, whether you're paying the activators or coaches. Some clubs have coaches on board that they use, or you can purchase extra equipment or shirts as well. So basically, anything that participants pay, we're handing all that over. We're not clipping the ticket anywhere. So this is where I'll pass on to Tyler to go through the promotion.
Awesome, thanks, Fletch. So how the promotion is going to work. So in the past few years, we've done a number of national promotions, and from each one, we've kind of pulled out all the good stuff and learnt lots from it. So this year, what we're going to do is a lot of paid advertising on Facebook and Instagram, which I think off the top of my head, we get over like 300,000-400,000 reach, which is amazing. So the more money we put into that, the more reach we have, and we've got, like Fletch said, we've got a little bit of a funding, so the reach for this should be bigger than our previous program national promotions. So participants or the parents will see the social media ads. They'll be like, wow, this is amazing. They'll visit the Squash Stars website, which they'll have all the information, what clubs are participating, how to register, all of that. Then they'll be like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is so easy. They're going to register through MySquash, which we'll take you through in a second. Once they register, oh, I've lost it, Fletch. Thank you. Once they register, they'll get a confirmation email. They'll get purchase links. So if they want to purchase additional things like extra rackets and balls, the club will also have access to all these registrations. So as soon as a participant registers, the club will be able to see and track the registrations. The clubs can then contact the participants with further information. The participants will come along, they'll enjoy their sessions, they'll be like, oh my goodness, this is the best sport in the world, why didn't we do this earlier? Bring all their friends along. But then the club will invite, hopefully, participants for follow-on programs or membership options to keep them engaged after the term program's ended. And then at the end of all this promotion stuff, or at the end of term 3, we will be asking clubs for feedback. That's just so we can learn from the promotion side of it, how that's gone, and all of those good things. So Fletch, if you can show us the map. So basically, once you see a social media ad, you can click through and it will take you through to this page here, or take you through to our website, which will have a bespoke Squash Stars website. And as part of that website, you'll see this map here. So a couple of the first clubs that have registered are on there at the moment. And Fletcher's selected Te Puke Squash Club, and as you can see on the map, you've got some blue kind of location icons. So those show all the clubs that have signed up. So clubs that don't sign up don't show up on the map because they're not part of the Squash Stars program. So that's one of the main benefits, or one of the big benefits of signing up, is you're part of this and you're visible to those participants, those potential participants. And you can see on the left-hand side all the information specific to that club and their program. What time, when it is, what days, when does it start, registration fees. And you see that and you'll be like, this sounds perfect, just what I need. You click in, which will take you to the MySquash page. And this will be set up, so we'll set this up on behalf of each club, under each club's we'll link each club's kind of main contact. So you'll have access to this page where you can put all the information. So as you sign up, we'll ask you what information you want on here. And as you can see the dates, the location, the entry fee, event description, all of that fun stuff. Again, you're super excited to join. You're going to click sign up, which will take you through. So the good thing about this is you don't actually have to be a MySquash member or sign up to MySquash. The registration's really, really easy, as you're about to see. If you've got multiple kids, you can add that into there. It will tell you how much the entry fee is. You go next, which will take you, and you just fill out your name, your details, or the kids' names, sorry, the parent details, kids' age. So there's a couple of questions like age, experience. Would you like a t-shirt? Would you like balls, rackets, all that fun extra stuff? So you fill that out. Once this has been filled out, Squash New Zealand will get in touch with these people and invoice and send out all the extra details for the extra bits and pieces that they want. And then all you do is go sign up. Now, as part of that, so one of the things we've done in previous promotions is as you sign up, your email goes into a database and you get taken along an automatic kind of email journey, which we're going to redesign this year for targeting the junior players. And basically that kind of first email will give them a bit more of welcome them to Squash Stars, give them a bit more information about squash, maybe some YouTube videos on how to play, so that they feel that when they show up on the kind of first weeks, they've got a bit of information behind them if they want. And again, we'll kind of encourage or promote that if you want to get any shirts or extra equipment. And then there'll be an automatic email reminder kind of a week before the program to remind them that they've signed up, and don't forget to come along. And alongside that, obviously the club will have all the contact details and they can get in touch with the participants directly as well. But yep, that's it for me. I'll go back to Fletch for the rest.
Thanks, Tyler. Probably some timelines here, but one of the real critical things for us will be the stories that are told as well. Not just for our funders, but also for us to learn, but also so we can promote it to the wider public as well. So we really want to capture all the stories, especially the great ones, any images or little video clips that you can put together, or any little social media bits that you do. We'd love to see those and share those stories as well, because that's going to be all part of the hype around Squash Stars and what we hope to achieve with it in the future. And keep building that base of young people into our clubs. So here's the timeline. So between now and the 1st of June, the club registration is open. Between now and sort of the end of June or even into the early part of July, the activator workshops and training will take place. Between the 2nd and 13th of July, the national promotion goes live. So that's when we're going to go live to the public with all the social media, etc., and get the individual sign-ups for the programs. And the 14th of July, which happens to be my birthday, which is the first Monday of term 3, program delivery begins, depending on what the dates at each club starts. And then post term 3, as I mentioned earlier, we'll get the feedback, we'll share the success stories, and we'll re-engage, hopefully, with the players around what next steps are with your clubs. So key decisions as clubs, who are your activators, coach or volunteers. In many cases, there's more than one, which is great, which is really handy. Is it integrated with an existing program, or is it a new offering? Schedule, what's the day, time, and your start date? The duration, 6, 8, or 10 weeks. So we're given 3 options there, and depending on the area or the club, and we've had a mix of all 3 of those in registration so far. So whatever suits your club the best. The registration fee is $40, $60, or $80. And once again, we've had a range of that as well. So whatever you want to put in there. And what are your local promotion strategies? Is it the school flyers, social media? What else are you going to do to support the national program in your local area? So really Q&A now. So gone through that reasonably quickly. But yeah, work it up to some questions and go from there.
That's good, Jason. Ross here. So a couple of things that's just popped into my mind. The first one is club registration. How do we go about doing that?
Oh, yeah, we can, through the link of the club registration that we, did you see the email that came through? There's a link on that, so we can send that to you directly, Ross, if you like.
Okay, that's cool. Yep. And the second thing was, just in terms of determining how long you want the program to go for, is it envisaged that the participation would be with just one group, or could you have several groups running on different nights of the week or after school? What's the idea in terms of how that could be handled?
That's a good question. Actually, we haven't sort of thought too much about multiple sessions, but that is an option for you to do that. So once again, let us know what you're planning to do, and we'll sort of accommodate that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's really up to the clubs to decide the duration and how many they think they can handle at any one point in time.
That's correct. Yep. So Squash England, for example, they sort of said, "But you've got a 6-week program, and that's all it is." We wanted to be more flexible and for the clubs the choice of how they managed it.
I'll also just butt in quickly as well. There will, I don't know if we've shared that or if that's part of the email or part of the activated training, Fletch, but we are having like a recommended number of participants per activator per court. So if that does max out, which hopefully everyone will, but if you do reach your limits, then we do encourage that you have extra sessions if you can. And again, when we saw on the My Squash website, etc., we can just add those extra sessions and have those options as clubs, as players sign up.
So what happens if you get someone signing up after the promotional period is finished? So you kick off the program on the 14th of July or thereabouts that week, but let's say you get some late entries 2 or 3 weeks later. Will we still accept them, or are we going to say to people, hey, you got to be in at the beginning and see it through to the end, sort of thing?
I would encourage you to accept them.
Right.
Yep. So want as many as we can. So at any time, we'll take all comers, really. Yeah.
Okay. And so how long would you anticipate a session lasting each time? Would it be an hour, hour and a half an hour?
Generally 45 minutes to an hour is probably what the standard will be. Particularly younger ones, there'll be less time. So we've got a group of real youngsters, there'll be shorter period of time. Sort of old age group, you can go a little bit longer. Yeah.
Understand. So what age group are you targeting, or is it pretty open?
5 to 12
is
the target age group. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this would include its primary and intermediate schools, effectively.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Fletch, you just got a question in the comments. Will activation be happening each term, or is this an initial point push to get numbers?
Is that from Nick? Yep. Well, the promotion that we're doing this year is an initial push, but we probably will promote it again. That's where discussions are at this stage, but for term 2. So looking to do the promotion into term 1 next year. So most programs start term 2, so that there's another push in term 2 next year.
Cool. And then another question from Edwina. Can we have quite a few junior squashies that have already started. They're looking to buy rackets now. Can they buy from Squash NZ? So potentially more of a John question, but
not right now. They're still en route from Australia. But as soon as we have them available, we'll put them up for sale in our shop as well. We do have some other junior rackets which might be of interest if you want to email us, Edwina. But yeah, the Dunlop ones that we want should be probably a couple of weeks away, I think.
And how much are they likely to cost?
They'll be very affordable. We're just working through that at the moment. We were looking at that today, actually. But yeah, it'll be under $50.
50, yeah, okay, 50 or under. Okay, cool.
And then Shuri, with each activation push, do we have to register each time? I can answer that one. No. This basically, the registration is to set up. If you are new to Squash Stars and you haven't registered, then you'll have an initial registration. But once you're registered as a Squash Stars hub, you keep as a Squash Stars hub and you don't have to re-register.
Just also,
sorry, just
sorry.
adding
Yep.
to that, the part of the promotion is when you sign up, you get the $100 to go back towards the coaching or the equipment, and all the additional fun bits and pieces that you get, like balls, shirts, activity cards, all of that. That is just part of this term 3 promotion, so that won't be available from term 4, etc. So that's just kind of a one-off boost at the moment to encourage. And then another question, will face-to-face activation training be available in each region?
Yes, it will be. Yep. So either delivered by myself or a couple of the other districts of people that can deliver that. So we may share them around if need be, so we can get to everybody. And you'll hear from your district when that will be too.
So the activator training is imminent, is it? I think in your slide you had it starting in May and going through till June.
Yep. So right through before things start, and in some areas it might be after things start, but yeah, so that'll be happening. So watch the space, I suppose, is probably the best way to describe that. Yep.
Yeah, and as you say, you can do either online activator training or a face-to-face workshop.
Yep. So, and the activator training face-to-face will be roughly 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. Online, probably half an hour. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That was my question. How long will it take?
Yep.
And what's your ambition in terms of numbers of children that you would like to see come through this program? Do you have a target?
Millions.
Yeah, Tyler's right. Yeah, as many as possible. Probably this is really just a start for us. We're really going to learn from this and see how it goes. But probably if we can get some that wouldn't have been exposed previously, that's probably our success. Is actually getting a number that actually wouldn't have been exposed to squash through family. Would be quite a good indication for us how well the promotion's gone.
I suppose
I think also, just cutting in, sorry, also if we can have a couple of clubs that currently don't have any programs, and they get some programs happening in their clubs, that's another big win for us as well.
Yeah, it's true. I guess the acid test is how many children who are introduced via this program go on to, continue to be active squash players.
Yeah, that's right. It's the program itself isn't the magic wand.
No.
The real magic's really with the people that deliver it in the clubs. And as I mentioned earlier, there's lots of fantastic people out there doing great things. So
very good.
Question from Cherie, do we have to collect data? No, that's the benefit of My Squash competitions, or sorry, not competitions, My Squash registrations, is we'll have all of that data. We do ask that if you do take any registrations not in My Squash, that you give us that data so we can, for funding and reporting, etc. We can do that, but that should be about it, really.
But we'd love to hear your stories as well, though. So you've got some great stories to share. Please share those with us too.
And like Fletch mentioned in some of the previous slides, the goal is, and I think one of Fletch's big goals and priorities is to get a community together. So you sign up, and it's not just this term, it's, in regular contact with you guys, helping you, supporting you. Because ideally, I guess in the future or in perfect world, we'll be running these programs every terms with hundreds and thousands of kids coming along. And yeah, so it's not just one and done.
This is the beginning. Yeah.
Question-
I presume other countries have run something like this, like, you know, Australia or the UK. So that is that where we sort of got the idea from?
Yeah, it's sort of probably some of the concepts we've pinched off them, if you like. But it's been in the work for a couple of years, really, around some of the work. There's a group of people that sort of brainstormed a few things, and yeah, it's really bringing back to life, like a few, probably good 11, 12 years ago, Kiwi Squash was launched. It had great success early on, and then as time goes by, people move on, and etc., and it loses its sort of fizz, if you like. So this is really just injecting some new energy into the junior participation space. Yeah.
Good question from Nick. Will the registration end up in our side of Hello Club? Do we have to pay affiliation fees on that term? That's a John question.
You should know the answer, Tyler. No. So it's basically set up as an event. So as they showed before, the parents don't have to create a MySquash account. They can basically just sign up as a guest, and all we are collecting is registration fees. There's nothing else. What we will do is, they talked about that clubs are going to be able to see registrations. Whoever is your lead at the club will be added as basically a co-organizer, so that you'll get access to that event and you'll get all the registrations. You'll get an email when someone signs up for your club. But in terms of using MySquash, that's all that's needed. Those that are on MySquash already, if there's a parent that wants to sign their kid up, they can create an account for them, but otherwise, no need for that.
Jason, will you be able to email or send somehow a copy of this presentation? It would be good to have it to share with others who are interested in being part of it.
Yeah, absolutely, we can do that, and we'll send out a link to the video too, won't we, John? So the recording. Yep.
That'd be cool. Thank you.
And we'll send out the club email as well, because that's essentially what's on the slides, but with more detail as well. So probably more useful than the slides.
Yeah,
I think.
Awesome positive comment from Cherie saying great initiative. Looking forward to seeing it rolled out and seeing all the resources. You and me both.
Yeah.
And I'll add in as well, when the club, the email we gave to the districts to send to clubs was missing a link to the equipment. So we'll send that out too. But we do have sort of, if you need to refresh your kit bag at the club with some rackets, and some junior we've got a bunch of foam balls available now. And of course the squash balls, if anyone's seen those and is keen to grab some, great to take out to the community or into schools for quick tasters for the kids. It could be the perfect lead in to introduce them to squash, and then invite them along to Squash Stars as well. So yeah, we'll send that out next day or two as well.
Very good.
John, the squash balls 170, are they? Is that right?
149 plus postage.
149.
That includes 2 packs of foam balls as well. So yeah, very, very easy to set up, to take anywhere. Yeah, coaches, parents, anyone can buy them now. We've got them available.
You can also use them on the squash courts, so you can one court make it into 2 courts. So more kids, more hitting the balls, etc. So lots of fun, exciting ways to use the squash balls.
My 6-year-old loves using his outside the garage at home. Get to entertain for many hours during the school holidays.
Well, that sounds pretty good, guys. Yeah, we'll be in boots and all, I can assure you.
Yeah, we're pretty excited, and you're looking forward to getting everything ready to roll out and hear the stories and everything that come out of it too. So cool. So any other questions or comments before we
So Edwina's just said, I agree, more appealing to volunteers if they can have these resources, activity cards, etc. Most non-squash playing parents are very reluctant to get involved. And then thank you. So again, looking forward to getting this involved in this program.
Cool. Yeah, the great thing is don't have to have a lot of squash experience to run it. So that's the intent. Yeah.
Also as well, when you register, we're very close to finalising every single detail. Once you've registered, we'll get you set up in MySquash and on that map, and we can give you the link almost straight away so that you don't have to wait until June to start promoting it. You can have the link and people can start signing up straight away.
Cool. Well, there's no more questions from me. That's very good.
Cool. Okay, so if there's no other questions or anything, well, thank you very much for giving up your time this evening, and yeah, really looking forward to seeing all the clubs register and the programs running, and lots of smiles on the court, and hearing the great stories that will come out of it. So yeah, thank you very much.